A massive wildfire broke out in the state of New South Wales in southeastern Australia and turned an area larger than that of South Korea into darkness. More than 7,000 forest fires occur each year in California in the United States. Even Alaska, which is located in the northern hemisphere, is scorching under heat waves, causing mass deaths of seabirds. Most countries in Europe are suffering from heat waves. The Netherlands and Belgium recorded their highest temperatures of 40 degrees Celsius for the first time in their history. India sustained serious human casualties and economic damage due to an extreme spell of drought. The city of Chennai hasn't had any rain for 196 days. These are not plot lines from movies. These are abnormal weather phenomena that I read about in the 2019 Abnormal Weather Report, published by the Korea Meteorological Administration. The above-listed situations account for only a small part of the whole reality. All different kinds of natural disasters, such as heat waves, droughts, wildfires, floods, and hurricanes, are occurring more frequently and intensely than ever. Does that mean that the conclusion is already drawn? Are we left with no more golden hour? Scientists argue that global warming was an expected result. According to them, as a result of our competitive race toward abundance over the past 30 years, the environment on Earth is becoming too perilous for humans to inhabit. David Wallace Wells, in his book The Uninhabitable Earth, Life After Warming, argues that climate change is not a moral fable, and unless we choose to halt it, it will never stop. Wallace Wells also writes that how the future of our climate will play out is full of uncertainty, which emerges not from scientific ignorance, but overwhelmingly from the open question of how we respond. In other words, it is a question that should be answered by humans, not natural science, because according to Wallace Wells, the most important factor at this stage is how much carbon we put into the atmosphere. Of course, we refers to none other than us. It refers to our generation, who are inhabiting the earth now. It will be too late if we put it off to the next generation. Children to be left in a hellish world. I feel sorry whenever I see children going to school wearing masks these days. I belong to the generation that hit the jackpot in the birth lottery and won the right to enjoy the resources of planet Earth to their fullest. When I was young, I ran around on beautiful roads lined with cosmos flowers, and in summer I hung out with my friends in mountains and fields where there was an abundance of wild berries and acacia honey for us to pick and eat everywhere. In autumn, we had field days without having to worry about fine dust, and in winter we scooped up a handful of acid-free snow and ate it deliciously. Now, all these memories are available only in photos of history books. In spring, our children can't go out and play or hang out with friends, and when going to school, they have to wear masks. This has become their daily routine, and it's all because of fine dust. It is already heartbreaking enough that our generation passed on to them an environment that has been polluted due to our reckless abuse of the natural resources. Now they have become the Corona generation and must live with the scars left by COVID-19. Our children will not be able to enjoy, even if they are willing to pay for them, all the happy daily routines that our generation enjoyed without having to pay the price. They might even have to live in a horrific world where they will have to pay even for water and air for survival. The current situation is hard to swallow even for me, who has already lived half my life. and I cannot imagine how unfair and frustrating it will be for our children who will have to live in a natural environment that has been devastated due to our mistakes. I realized that our children are already feeling the same way when I read a news article about some teenagers having filed a constitutional petition against the Korean government. Kim Yoo-jin, along with 29 other young activists, stated that their fundamental rights, including the right to live in a clean environment, have been infringed on by the nation's climate change law, which is not specific enough to prevent global temperatures from rising. The kids' frustrated appeal is an earnest request for help to save them from the government and grown-ups who turn blind eyes to such a serious climate change problem and are not taking any measures to do something about it. They know that unless somebody does something immediately, their future will be nothing short of hell.